he tells him, "I'm inevitable." And then when he realizes he doesn't have the stones, you just see Tony say, "I'm Iron Man," and snaps his fingers.
Douche.
And all the minions go away. All the bad guys start disappearing.
Right. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. All the fucking dust and shit. And then the most...
he realizes he's beat, so he takes a seat. Just waiting for his fate, I guess.
Yeah, waiting for him to become dust too.
Yeah.
And then there's Tony fucking laying there, fucking gasping for air.
Yeah.
And Potts comes up to him in probably the most emotional fucking scene I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
She's like,
first the kid was talking to him, Spider-Man,
Right. And Jesus Christ, dude. Jesus Christ. He's like, Mr. Stark, we did it, Mr. Stark.
Yeah.
Mr. Stark.
He wasn't responding.
Tony? And you're like, oh, Jesus Christ. He fucking even called him Tony. God damn you. Fucking killed me. And then Potts showed up.
Yep.
And she gets real close to him, and she's just like, it's okay, Tony. We got this. We got this. You can rest now. We got it. You've done your job. And with that, he just fucking breathes out he just gives it up and lets his last breath out. And I would be surprised if there were dry eyes in the fucking theater.
Hell.
Dude, it was you could have heard a pin drop. I've never in my life, I'm 43 years old and I've never heard a movie theater that quiet.
Yep. Everybody, you could tell everybody, it was emotional. Like I said, it wrecked a lot of people emotionally. So,
like I'm not even one of those people that like get emotional in movies. And there was a lot of scenes that got to me, but this one
the
fucking
waterworks went,
Fuck,
a lot of
dude.
us got the waterworks going there.
Oh my God. It was like a semi truck just ran right into my goddamn heart.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's like this all started because of Tony.
Yep, and it ended with Tony too. Which is kind of like, for us that have been following the story since Iron Man, I mean, you're like, okay, we saw him become Iron Man, and now we saw him save the world, from the whatever.
Ultimate evil,
and boom, there he goes. That's it. No more Tony Stark.
That fast. You're like, Jesus Christ.
I was like, oh, fuck.
And then we go from there, we go to the funeral.
Yeah.
Or, at least them saying goodbye.
Yeah.
And, sorry. Everybody's there.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was one, I didn't know who the one kid was.
Oh, Iron Man 3.
Yes, and I didn't know who it was until Kevin Smith broke it down for me. He was talking to the writers and shit. When we saw him last, he was a little kid, and now he's fucking grown up.
Yeah, and it's the same actor too.
Right, and when I found out who it was, I'm like, oh, God damn it. Oh, fuck. I thought all the fucking emotional roller coasters were over with.
Yeah, now there's talks about maybe Disney might go with the Young Avengers, and this kid might be Iron Lad.
Oh, they also were talking about going Ironheart too, having a female take over and do Ironheart story arc, which would be cool as well.
Well, they could. They could do that as well as the Young Avengers, because you got Hawkeye, the new Hawkeye, which is basically it's Hawkeye's daughter.
Right, and you got
Ant-Man's daughter, which also is, I guess,
the Wasp's daughter as well.
Well, adoptive daughter, whatever.
Right.
But obviously, at one point in time, she suits up. So you got her, and then you got that kid who could be the Iron Lad, and
you got they could do it.
There's something in the works, I think. The fact that they focused on each and every single one of them,
Right.
Spider-Man, Aunt May was there. I noticed.
Right. And we saw Carol Danvers. She was there.
Yeah, and Nick Fury.
And Nick Fury was there, which was dope. I really like seeing him.
Yeah.
And then they put his little heart thing. They put it out onto the water.
Yeah, from the first movie, proof that Tony Stark does have a heart.
And another one of those fucking fan service moments. John Favreau's character is fucking talking to Morgan, Tony Stark's daughter.
Morgan Stark, yeah, the little kid.
Yeah. And he's like, "Hey, you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, I want a cheeseburger."
Yeah.
It was just, because when Tony Stark first got rescued from the fucking desert,
a good old fashioned American cheeseburger.
Right. So another moment of fan service was given to us, and which was awesome. And he's like, "Yeah, I know, kid. I know. We'll get you all the cheeseburgers."
Your father loved cheeseburgers too. He goes, "I'll get you as many cheeseburgers as you want." Yeah, that was one of those moments.
And then flash forward to
they have to return the stones
to everybody. And Captain America, of course, once again, Captain America is going to volunteer to do it. And they send him back into the quantum world, and the Hulk tries to bring him back, and he can't.
Yeah, he says,
"I don't know. I can't."
Yeah.
And next thing you know,
they see an old man sitting in a bench.
And the Falcon walks up to him, and they start talking, and turns out that when he was back, he lived the life he had always wanted.
Yep, he hooked up with Agent Carter. They don't say if he had kids or not, right? They don't say if they did. Obviously, they did the hibbity dibbities, but
and Kevin Smith was talking about, and Mark Bernardin were talking. They said that in the TV show Agents of Carter, she has a husband and she has kids.
And
this makes it sound like Captain America was
the husband,
and she had kids with him. So
now actually, they can actually connect that. Wow, that's
fucking badass,
and it's fucking dope. Just
like I got chilly bumps again.
Hey, here we go.
And then he gives Falcon the fucking shield.
Yeah,
which I was shocked. I got to say that was one scene that fucking shocked me.
You thought Bucky was going to get it?
Yeah, I did. I thought he was going to give it to Bucky, and because that was his buddy for fucking 5,000 years.
Well, yeah, but you realize Bucky had become the Winter Soldier. He'd done things, whatever, Right. And Falcon had been there more recently with Captain America, so because Bucky gave him that look of approval, like, hey, go ahead,
good choice.
Talk to him.
Yeah. Good choice on giving it to him as well. And then he's like, hey, do you want to tell me about it? Tell me about your life. And he's like,
he sees the ring on his finger, right? Like he got married. He's like, oh, looks like you've been whatever. Do you want to tell me about it? And yeah, that part was pretty awesome too, where Cap just looks at him and he's like, nope, I don't think I'll tell you.
I don't think I will. That's my story. That's my story to tell. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to hold on to that. That's my precious stuff.
Wow.
And yeah, so, and that's pretty much so where we end on that.
Yeah.
And
that in a nutshell, I mean,
that was Endgame.
You realize this is a first. We've actually spoiled the fucking movie from beginning to end. Yes, we might have missed a few details. We've only watched the movie once.
Right.
But the way I'm just saying, we fucking spoiled the entire movie. So hopefully you watched it by now.
If not, you pretty much watched it here by us telling you.
Yeah.
We pretty much covered all the major parts of this movie. Yeah, let's see. I can look at my notes. Yeah, I think we completely went through every note that I had. We talked about.
Yep. And like I said, normally we normally don't like to spoil movies. We like to, hey, go watch it, go. So, but this one, I mean, everybody's been talking about it.
Yeah, and, you guys had time.
Yeah,
you had plenty of time. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even see it until Sunday after it came out, and now here we're at.
I wasn't even gonna go see it on opening weekend, but I got bamboozled.
So, and we gave you a warning beforehand that we were going to do this. So, whatever. I don't even give a shit. But yeah, Jesus Christ, what a ride.
Yeah. Did you have like post Avengers depression afterwards? Because obviously, to me, I went to see Iron Man when it first came out, just like most people, right? the last 10 years, 10, 11 years. Junior was what, 11, 10, 11.
Yeah.
I took Junior to go watch this movie with me. And we've been following this story for the last 10, 11 years. And there it was. It came to a close. And I was like, okay, well, it's awesome. I liked it. It gave me everything. Sure, I didn't like the fact that Tony Stark died, but come on.
We knew something had to happen. Something major had to happen.
We figured it was either going to be Captain but Tony Stark and Black Widow.
And Black Widow, and I think those are good choices. As much as I don't like saying it, I think they were good choices. You know what I felt? I felt like, you ever read a really, really good book, and at that last page, you just you really slowly just kind of close the book, and you just kind of hold it for a moment, and you're just like, wow.
I guess staying till the end of the credits was my holding that book for a moment. And the internet had already spoiled it, that there was no, you know how they've always give you.
I had a little thing at the end,
those credit scenes or whatever. There was nothing there except the noise of the hammer.
Right. That was Tony making the original Iron Man suit.
The original Iron Man suit, yeah. Which is like, okay, it started with Iron Man, it ended with Iron Man.
Right.
And
but yeah, I would say for 2-3 days I kind of, I lived my life like normal, but there were moments when I'd be by myself driving to or from work, or when I was just by myself for whatever reason, where I just kind of stopped and for whatever reason just kind of took a pause and was like, wow.
Okay, now what?
that was, well, I don't even think it was now what. I think it was more of a reflection. Like that was like reading that good book and closing it, but like a 10-year long book.
I mean, obviously thanks to technology, we can revisit, and man, that would take that's quite an investment of time to sit there and watch every single movie again.
Oh, there's a lot of movies.
I'm sure there will be marathons. Somebody will come up with. Yeah. In fact, maybe we should organize some of those shits and get in on the action. But anyway, all I'm saying is it's crazy because you can rewatch that, but when the movie was done, like I said, I had that feeling. Then you just nailed it right there. That description, that good book that you slowly close, and
you're just kind of like, wow.
Yeah. Alrighty then. Well, hey, this has been a hell of a show. Also, first for Cursory Overload.
I don't know if we've ever gone this long.
No.
I tried to, we tried to say that this was going to be a different episode. This is going to be a lot different than what we normally do.
And we kind of owe you. I mean, we haven't been doing, so it's kind of like 2 episodes in one.
Right. So, but Endgame came out, and when a movie comes out, an opening weekend is like $1.2 billion.
$1.2 billion.
With a billion.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That was crashing on websites before the movie even opened.
And what I understand, they didn't spend that much on advertising.
They didn't have to.
Well, no. They've been doing, for the past 10 years, they've been doing that with every single... That was genius. Whoever came up with those end credits and those little...
Those spoilers that are like
snippets that
previews.
They left us hooked, waiting for the next. So I mean, we were all they played us, man.
Oh, I've never been used and felt so good about it. I feel like that, yeah. Dirty, but I like it.
I like it, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was an awesome movie. I don't know. Tony Stark will always hold a place in my heart.
Yeah.
This whole series will. Like you said, our boys were 10 years old when we first started watching this. Yeah. And
for us, it's a different journey for us because we've been enjoying these stories with our kids.
Right. And ask any 10-year-old boy when Iron Man 1 came out if he's still a fan of him. Like every 10-year any boy that was around 10 or 11 can tell you the first time they saw Iron Man.
Yep.
And
Robert Downey Jr. will always be Iron Man.
Right.
Yeah.
And
it's a good or bad thing for him.
I don't know. He could probably